Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for joining me tonight on this webinar. You can see there's a different face in the room tonight. I will be introducing him soon. So tonight I was in the mood to do it a little bit different. I've got Leon on the call tonight. So Leon's story inspired me. And yeah, that's why I wanted to interview Leon tonight, because I know those of you on the call will also be inspired, if I can call it, by his testimony or by his story. And I think most of you know, or if you don't know, I like to hashtag myself, if I can call it that way, as a story hunter, because I believe that every one of us have got a story to tell. And if your story can inspire someone else, your story can also change someone's life. So let me not say too much. So Leon, it's Leon Muller on the call tonight. So thank you so much for joining me.
And thanks for the introduction, Anna. I really appreciate being on this call, and then also good evening to everybody on this call.
So guys, we're going to jump straight into it. So Leon is from Vryheid. I don't know if any of you guys know where that is. I just know where it is because one of our very good friends stay in Vryheid. So Leon, please tell me, how long have you been in this very small little town?
I've been living myself here for 13 years and basically have been teaching that long as well.
Wow, that's a long time.
It's a very long time in a very small place. But I actually come from Pinetown in Durban, where I lived my whole life and matriculated as well. So moving to a small town actually was nice, and also working here is actually very nice. There's a lot of people, you have close friends. So no, I've been enjoying it here in this small town.
So you mentioned now that you are or were a teacher. How and where did that journey start for you?
So directly after school, I went overseas for a year first, where I just worked and played some rugby to figure out a bit what is it that I like, and then basically what I do like is rugby and sport overall, and to coach that. And then the other thing was that I thought I was very good at maths, and I decided to study it as well. And I did my senior FET bachelor's degree, and then yes, I became a math teacher. So that is what I was doing for the last 13 years, and then also. I also then finished my honors degree in education management and law as well, just to further my studies in education.
Well, obviously, to be a maths teacher, you have to know what's happening in maths, because you can't fake that. Sorry, no offense, you can't fake that. Leon, just a random question I'm thinking about. Did you enjoy teaching?
Yeah, and even now, although it's a different way of teaching people, but I love it. It's really a passion for me. And then I think also, specifically the sport part of teaching. I think the biggest reason why I became a teacher was sport. That bond you have with other staff members, whether you're at a tour or somewhere else, and then also the kids. When the kids achieve in sport, they get bursaries at other schools, or you have an unbeaten season for 2 or 3 years in a row. That really is, for me, very, very satisfying as a teacher. I won't say the maths was always so good, but it's okay. The few that do pass, I'm very happy for them.
Okay, Leo, so you say that you're not doing it anymore.
Yes, so I decided this year basically that I need to make a choice. The online industry started booming for me, and basically a journey that started about 2 years ago, and I've worked at it part time until this year, and I think this is where COVID had the best impact for me ever in my life. Is that I had time to physically just do this, and after that I had to take a decision. What is it that is now more important for me in my career. So no, I'm not an educator at the school anymore. So I'm doing it a bit differently now.
So what do you actually do now?
So being an online entrepreneur basically is like I'm part of Silvernex now, as an example. It's an opportunity that comes that I can go and teach other people. Listen, how many of you are actually hedging yourself against inflation? How many of you actually own silver, for example? Well, here's a fantastic platform where with very little money and a little bit of effort, you can really create tons and tons of silver if you want to. It's just the choice if you have to do it.
Hang on, I'm going to stop you. You can't just go from being a teacher one day and then you decide, okay, no, I'm going to leave this now and I'm going to go into entrepreneurship. It's something that you probably grown into, or you matured, or you changed your mindset. How did the actual? Because you said you've been busy with your entrepreneurship for 2 years part time. But how did it actually start for you to, or the seed? How did the seed get planted to think there's something more than what I'm currently, or what I'm actually was doing, than what I'm doing now?
Yeah, it's a whole a lot of seeds that has been planted on the way. But I would say, I think in the beginning, being a teacher is that you know what's coming every month end and every birthday bonus, and then after you get the promotion, I was very privileged at a young age to become an HOD. After you've achieved that as well, it's like, where here from now. At the end of the day, is that your finances, determine sometimes, your lifestyle and basically what you are able to do. So I came to a point where it became difficult, month in, month out, to budget in and out every month, just to budget yourself into a credit card at the end of the day. So I basically had the great privilege to actually, watch webinars. And I think from a South African local point of view, I would say Correla Beskagni was my biggest influencer. And I basically went to his events. And I think that person, or that wealth coach, let's call him because he is a wealth coach, basically changed my entire outlook on money and how it can be made. That's the biggest thing about it's just the figure in your bank account that you must make more, and that's it. And I also realized that a normal job, like he also pointed out, just won't make it more. There needs to be more from your side, and there are other easier ways. There are really other easier ways. So back then, just being a teacher, every single thing to me looked like a risk. Everything, just to think about doing something, paying 1,000 or 500 rand towards a project was for me, I would never do it.
Yeah.
But now, every single day I wake up, I see opportunity all over. When I wake up and I start the day, opportunities just come. They come in abundance, and I just learn how to manage that risk, basically. And that's basically where it started, is that he opened up the world of cryptocurrencies, foreign currencies, property. And I would say that I think I took a lot from that. And that's basically where I got the ball rolling.
But it's so true what you say. And I know from my experience, my story as well, is once you in this world and all that you know is your day job, if I can say it like that, and you're not open to opportunity because it's almost like you're stuck in a rut. I'm not saying, don't get me wrong, that if you've got a day job, I've got a day job. I work for Silvernex. I love it. But I'm also an entrepreneur. So that's a difference. And like now, you are focused on opportunities. And I believe 100% in that thing is what you focus on, you attract. If you're focused on your lack of finances, you're going to attract lack of finances. If you're focused on your job sucks, you're going to attract more of that. But like you said, and I love that, you wake up in the morning, you think, okay, so where's the next opportunity? And then immediately you see that. So I know, and I know you, and I know for me is your mindset. It's what do you think about your finances? What do you think about yourself, your opportunities? your abilities. So it's amazing. So I just want to also ask you, how did your mindset change in this whole 2-year process of yourself, your abilities, what you believe about yourself, and what you believe is possible?
Yeah, so once again about the mindset. Once again, Conray had a big role for that in me. But I think the mindset came in the moment when I just actually started to reflecting around me how all the people are doing it, and actually just observing, you know, if I just do what the whole 99% is doing every day, will I really ever achieve, will there be a different result for me at the end of the day? So it was basically that thing of, it's stupidity is trying to wake up every day doing the same thing over and over, but you're expecting a different result.
Yeah.
So when I started this, I just realized that, my qualifications and all of that stuff makes me brilliant at doing my job, but it doesn't make money. I had to face that. It was difficult because I thought that that is what it is. That's what you have to do. And it's basically, it comes down to, your mindset comes down to how do you perceive money? So, money is a very, it's a personal thing, and it's a very private thing. People don't talk about it. And I just realized that, you know what, I will have to start connecting and networking with people who are actually financially free, who are actually making money, because it's a bit like sport. I, I rate myself as a great rugby coach. Therefore, I see results in my kids when I coach them, because
Yes.
they can actually copy and paste what I show them. It's a bit like a golf player. If you want to become the best golfer, you need to copy and paste the golfer's swing. With money, it's exactly the same thing. You need to copy and paste what rich, successful, financial free people are doing. Not
Love it.
ask your next door neighbor for it. Not ask your next door neighbor for advice, who is, who's trying to make ends meet at the end of the month. I think that's where we get it wrong, is that we get opportunity, but I'm going to ask my friend who has absolutely no clue what's going on. And if he says, no, it's good, I'm going to do it, where it shouldn't be like that. And I think that's where it came in for me, is that when I actually started following people and just copying what they're doing. If they say do this, I just do it. And that's where I really saw the results coming, not from my own doing, just opening my mind up to what other people have to say, listening, and basically to get over myself. That's what I had to do. And listen.
Take a decision. Actually do it. It's one thing hearing it, but it's another thing actually, okay, let's do this.
Definitely. And
sorry.
yes.
I want to ask you now a very personal question. How many income streams do you currently receive or have?
Sure. I have plenty, but it's not necessarily that all of them bring in millions. It's a work in progress. People think that, I left education because it's easier. As a matter of fact, this is now a reality hits you, and you actually have to pull up your socks. And because when I left, I thought I'm fine. I thought I will be fine. And then I just realized, you know what? Things change very fast. So this is where now, on a daily basis, you need to keep on building that income streams. So although I have quite a few, I would say currently running between 8 and 10. I have to go and count them. I have an asset register somewhere in my file, but there are plenty. But the goal is that every income stream must have like a dripping effect. So I always say when I start that, the first start off is you need to earn enough, to fund more income streams. And I imagine it really as a lot of taps next to each other. They're all dripping. And at the bottom, they're creating a stream. And the faster they start dripping, the stronger that stream becomes. But to get that cycle going doesn't happen overnight.
No.
And I think that's why so many people give up or don't succeed. They expect it just comes easily. And believe me, it doesn't. Even now, it doesn't come easily. But what I can say is that a few years of this compared to just being an educator for the rest of my life. I would rather do this now and set myself up for huge success in 5 to 10 years from now.
Yes, guys, I'm smiling every time, when Leon speaks, because I know, I really hope you're listening to this, what he's saying, because somewhere someone will get an aha moment. And I know, because me and Leon, we've been through the same process, whereas my mindset has been, I've always been, just because the way I grew up and things that happened when I was a child, I had a poverty mentality. So I always hold on to money. As soon as I got money, I was like, I can't let go because I don't know when I'm going to have money again. And what Leon is saying now, with even though it is a little bit here, a little bit there, a little bit there, all that little bits add up to a huge stream that is producing a big income. And now Leon can also add to what I'm going to say now is, if I'm taking my situation where I had a poverty mentality of holding on, what I learned through this whole process is you can't hold on to your money, because what then? It doesn't produce anything. So whatever you get, you take that percentage and you put it back into income streams that's going to add more income. Like Leon says, he's got 10 or 11 income streams. So you take from the one, you add to the other. Then you've got an asset that you're buying here. And at the end of the day, you've got an ecosystem, if I can call it that way, of an income. And I think we've been through the same process, and you can add to what I want to say in that case.
Yes, no, definitely. And also, during that process of income streams, there is huge failure, huge. Sometimes it takes you months to get over it, especially if you're not used to losing huge amounts of money. It's never nice. But once again, I always look at the words of Robert Kiyosaki, who says that the reason why most people are poor is because they've never failed hard enough and they haven't failed enough.
We don't like failing.
No, it's horrible. It's like losing. It's the same thing. But the point is that you learn from that. You pick yourself up, and the bigger you fail, next time, the higher the next reward is. So it's a bit of you win some, you lose some, and then you start balancing it out until you get to a point where you actually find what it is that you like. And for example, just to mention Silganex, for example, is the ecosystem we're talking about is a fantastic platform where you can literally leverage. And that's an important concept to understand, is that if you understand what is leverage, how you leverage off team members to earn silver that you don't even pay for with your own money. You pay for the silver you get from your team members. And for example, the crypto card, the way out, the exchange. This is now for me this is one of my brand new projects. I was the first one basically to jump on and get going when I got the opportunity. There was a few things I heard that I liked, and I just went. So Silganex, for example, is a good example of another income stream that has started to basically to drip very, very slowly.
Yes.
But the mindset is 2 years from now. What's that tap going to look like then?
Yeah. I actually want to say something about what you're saying now, because Leon is also a DApp holder. A DApp holder is a digital asset position. So what that means, he is a if I can say it in layman's terms, is shareholder in Silganex. And what I love about Leon, it's not just that he sits back and he's like, give me my money, my shares that I'm getting at the end of the month. Leon is constantly calling us, guys, what can I help? What can I help with? Can I sort this out? He's on the support group helping. Some of the guys watching this webinar might be like, oh, is this Leon? Yes, this is Leon that is helping. We didn't ask him to do this, but I think what he realizes is that the more he, as a shareholder, helps with the company, the more the company is growing, the more his shares are going to grow. And I really want to comment on that and say thank you for helping in that manner, for really supporting us as a company. And I just want to ask, why, I know you came across us as Silganex, but do you think silver is the future? It's a very broad question, but I actually just want to know what you feel about silver.
Yeah, I think when the first webinar came with Silganex, I remember Dawie Rood being on the call,
Yes.
and I really remember that, and he also just mentioned the fact that silver is a fantastic way to hedge yourself against inflation over the long term. And yes, definitely, when I joined Silganex, I first joined Silganex, and then I decided if I like silver, not the other way around,
Yeah.
because I saw opportunity, I saw passive income.
Yes.
So that's how I looked at it. And then definitely, I think silver is a very undervalued commodity. I really think that, and I think its industrial use
Yeah.
will start to rocket over the next few years. As we know, it gets used in technology, cell phones and laptops, and so more in hospital equipment. So we know basically where it's going. And the nice thing is that it's a very, very affordable commodity if you compare it against gold. And if we look
Definitely.
at the growth of silver over the last couple of months, I would say Silganex and silver is probably the best way you can go now if you're looking for a platform where you can basically put your funds into something where you can hedge yourself against inflation. So no, definitely, and I think I'm buying silver like crazy. I'm networking like crazy to get more silver,
Yes.
and
And
therefore, yes, I think that
I know you also heavily involved in our Silganex cryptocurrency card, which is, we are
yes,
so excited about that project.
yes, no, definitely, and I think also it's like there's a lot of people, not just me. I know from our Silver Leaders group, there are so many members who are actually phoning you guys the whole time, not just me. And the basic reason is we have a brand new company, and there's only one way: is we all pull together. Doesn't
Yes.
help. We complain, moan about little things that doesn't actually matter. It's a lot better if we just say, "Listen here, how can we help you guys?" Because we're still in the teething. How can we say teething phase of the company? So that's most important, is to get it going, and not complain. That's basically my motto.
Okay. I want to ask you, just, you need to answer very quickly. Don't think about it. Okay, just answer very quickly. Which one do you prefer, wine or beer?
One,
Blonde or brunette?
brunette. My wife brunette. So I can't make a mistake.
You won't think. You must just answer. Jelly babies or cheese curls?
Jelly babies.
Exercise or reading?
Exercise.
Skinny dipping in the ocean or in a jacuzzi?
Ocean.
Blue bulls or
Jacuzzi.
lions?
Lions.
How can you say lions? You stay in the shark, in the KwaZulu-Natal. That's why I put that question in there. Okay, what would be your last meal on death row? If I have to come to you now and say, okay, this is your last meal, what do you want? What is your last meal?
No, definitely spare ribs.
Spare ribs. Okay.
And specifically spare ribs.
Okay,
Specifically that one.
spare ribs. Okay. And let's quickly work out your stripper name. What is your first street where you stayed in that you can remember as a child? The first, where did you stay?
Oh, James Herbert.
James
Herbert
Herbert.
Road.
Okay.
Yes.
What is your first pet's name?
Oh, Tom. Tom.
Okay.
Tom.
Tom. Guys, your stripper name is Herbert Tom.
Herbert Tom.
Okay. I thought it was going to be more interesting. Okay, Leon, so my last question to you is, when will you be financially free?
So, yeah, financial freedom is really a figure in your head, whatever that means to you. For some people, it's $1 million. For some people, it's 50,000 rands. For now, it's a very difficult question,
You don't
because
have
in
to
my
give me
mind, I haven't reached. Yeah, it's a difficult one because I haven't reached that figure yet by far. So I would say, by the rate it's going now, definitely within the next 5 to 10 years, I see myself in a very good space.
And I want to add to, guys, I don't know if you realize, and I don't know what Leon's figure is, but I do know it's not a figure that you can achieve within a year. It is something that gives you financial freedom. Now, that word has got a different meaning for each of us, but I don't know if you heard what he said. Within 5 years, to achieve financial freedom within 5 years is huge. That's absolutely huge. And like I said in the beginning of my interview, is the reason why I did this interview is because I want you guys listening to this webinar to know that anything is possible. Anything is possible. And just from listening to Leon's story, from where he started, and like I said, it's not saying that if you do have a day job that, you're not in your purpose. Leon is still in his purpose. He's helping people. He's a teacher. That's his passion. That's his calling. But now he's helping people also to become financially free. And it's possible. Leon, just the last message that you want to leave with people watching this.
Yeah, I think, look, never give up on your dream, whatever it is. Not all of us dream is financial freedom, but whatever it is for you, is never give up on that dream. A few years ago, I thought, geez, I'll be an educator until the end, and it all changed very, very fast. But I think my biggest single advice to any single person is, when somebody presents you with a great opportunity, whatever it is listen and learn. That's all you have to do. And then make an informed decision. That is what I really go out on every day, is that when somebody presents me an opportunity, is that I listen and I take it from who it comes from. Specifically if it's people who are very, very wealthy or very successful. And then also is that if you want to have a mindset change, you need to understand that the biggest thing standing in your way is that thing between your two ears. I remember Brett Mask once saying it on one of his webinars, and that's a fact. Between your head is either your biggest enemy or the most powerful thing that you do own. And I just think that, if you programmed right, you can make it very far. But just remember, nothing is ever just easy. If you are motivated and you are willing to take the grind, at the end of that road is a huge pot, basically a huge pot of success waiting for you.
Leon, baie dankie. Thank you. I just feel somehow now inspired. I feel like I need to buy more silver, like I'm not buying enough. I feel like I need to get more people to, because it's a way, like you said, to earn a passive income. So thank you for sharing your story with us, and for being honest. And I appreciate that.
Yeah. And thanks, Anna, for having me on the call. I really appreciate it. And then also, from being from Silvernex and from my side, guys, this is the opportunity of a lifetime. So when we end this now, get started, get your people on board.
You can see he's a teacher. He knows exactly how to get people on, how to motivate people. You see, you're born like that. Guys, have an awesome evening, and we'll chat to you again next week. Cheers. Dankie, Leon. Bye.
Yes, Anna. Thanks. Bye.